not an interrogation or a trial. Your version of the truth is all that matters.
Truth is singular. Its versions mistruth.
Today on Awaken Activate, we're going to talk about the law of one. Are you a starseed or light worker? Law of one, and how this applies, and how this inner knowing is coming back into our awareness. We're still doing mind exercises, whether I'm having dreams and getting these messages. They're still meant to stretch your mind and to expand your awareness beyond what is going on, what we see in the outside world, to what is actually going on inside, and how our actions affect others. And we think we can do things to other people and they're not aware, but we're coming to a time where all the masks will slip, will fall off, so to speak. And we will see those who are true from their heart. And there won't be any hiding from us. So I appreciate the emails and the comforting words. And I do like to hear what's going on with you guys. Yeah, YouTube's frustrating. Sometimes I feel like I'm in an echo chamber. But usually people, and I've seen this pretty common, when, we're telling the truth or trying to expand awareness in any way, we do end up in like an echo chamber for some reason. I don't know why, but when people put out negative things, or people congregate to that. And hopefully soon in our near future, we will see a shift out of that into service to others, and out of the fear into unconditional love. So let's look, and I'm going to be translucent on that as we're looking at some questions and answers from the Law of One sessions that were done. And I will list the channel in the description box for you to go to and check these out for yourself. This topic today is starseeds, light workers, some of the things that occur within the lifespan of a higher density or higher frequency, jumping down into a lower density realm, and the suffering and the things that go on within them, because when you're used to being surrounded by all love, unconditional love and sovereignty and respect, and you volunteer to come in, first of all, that's a huge step to volunteer to come and take on such a challenge as to lift this environment as dense and heavy as it is. So I wanted to share some information with you, hopefully raise some awareness, and then I will. I've been promising you guys forever, but I'm sure by my testimony you understand. But I will share that testimony as I get new subscribers all the time on what happened to me. So if it's, we're equal, and I understand that, and I'm very anti-hierarchy. I'm not an anarchist, don't get me wrong. I really, truly do not think that we need to have rulers and governors over us. When you're ready, you'll know, because the freedom that you walk in is beyond comprehension. The love that you walk in is beyond comprehension. It's amazing, but you can still sense and feel the dense energies that are around you, which manifest, in this avatar, this physical form that people take on to come here. So let's get to it. Let's look at what possible, first generation or second generation volunteers, starseeds, you can call them, even the Bible talks about when they see me, they will be like me. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, we're looking at the Law of One, Session 12 of 106 parts. This is part 2 of 2. And what we're looking at here is the wanderers, or volunteers, starseeds, light workers, many different names for the same type of a being that had volunteered to come in. And some of the things that I would like to share with you guys, so to see if it resonates with you and to get an understanding. Now, this has nothing to do with religion or anything like that. I'm not here to trample on anybody's religion. I'm seeking truth, and that is what I want other people to resonate with, is the truth about who and what you are, and to get off the karmic hamster wheel, and the ways and tools in order to do that. So let's listen in here and let's see what we got to share.
Question 12.26. Questioner, you spoke of wanderers. Who are wanderers? Where do they come from? Answer, I am Ra. Imagine, if you will, the sands of your shores. As countless as the grains of sand are the sources of intelligent infinity. When a social memory complex has achieved its complete understanding of its desire, it may conclude that its desire is service to others, with the distortion towards reaching their hand, figuratively, to any entities who call for aid. These entities, whom you may call the brothers and sisters of sorrow, move toward this calling of sorrow. These entities are from all reaches of the infinite creation and are bound together by the desire to serve in this distortion. Question 12.27. Questioner, how many of them are incarnate on earth now? Answer, I am Ra. The number is approximate due to an heavy influx of those birthed at this time due to an intensive need to lighten the planetary vibration and thus aid in harvest. The number approaches 65 million. Question 12.28.
Okay, 65 million volunteers, starseeds, light workers, whatever that you want to call them. They volunteered to come here to lighten up the vibration of what was going on here. So we'll get into a little more of the incursion and what happened later. But just wrap your mind around 65 million volunteers or wanderers. Volunteers is the best way of putting it, to come here to lift the frequency, to help people to get off of this karmic wheel and walk in the sovereignty and the freedom and their divinity and all the beauty that comes along with it. Okay, let's move on.
Questioner, are most of these from the fourth density? Or what density do they come from? Answer, I am Ra. Few there are of fourth density. the largest number of wanderers, as you call them, out of the sixth density. The desire to serve must be distorted towards a great deal of purity of mind and what you may call foolhardiness or bravery, depending upon your distortion complex judgment. The challenge danger of the wanderer is that it will forget its mission, become karmically involved, and thus be swept into the maelstrom of which it had incarnated to avert the destruction. Question 12.29. Questioner, what could one of these entities do to become karmically involved? Could you give an example of that? Answer, I am Ra. An entity which acts in a consciously unloving manner in action with other beings can become karmically involved. Question 12.30. Questioner, do many of these wanderers have physical ailments in this third density situation? Answer, I am Ra. Due to the extreme variance between the vibratory distortions of third density and those of the more dense densities, if you will, wanderers have as a general rule some form of handicap, difficulty, or feeling of alienation which is severe. The most common of these difficulties are alienation, the reaction against the planetary vibration by personality disorders, as you would call them, and body complex ailments indicating difficulty in adjustment to the planetary vibrations such as allergies, as you would call them. Question 12.31. Questioner, is there a way for these wanderers to heal themselves of their physical ailments?
Yes.
Answer, I am Ra. This will be the last complete question of this time-space. The self-healing distortion is effected through realization of the intelligent infinity resting within. This is blocked in some way of these who are not perfectly balanced in bodily complexes. The blockage varies from entity to entity. It requires the conscious awareness of the spiritual nature of reality, if you will, and the corresponding pourings of this reality into the individual mind, body, spirit complex for healing to take place. We will use this instrument as example. The portions of its ailment, as you call this distortion complex, that can be perfected in balance are due primarily to a blockage of the indigo ray or pineal energy center. This center receives the intelligent energy from all sources lawful within the one creation, that is, lawful in this third density distortion or illusion. If there is no blockage, these energies pour or stream down into the mind, body, spirit complex, perfecting moment by moment the individual's body complex. This instrument also experiences some distortion of the green ray energy center, which you may call the heart center. It is overly open due to an intensive desire distortion on the part of this mind, body, spirit complex towards service to others, or as you may call it, universal love. This entity, therefore, spends itself without regard to its reserves of mind, body, spirit complex distortion in regard to what you call strength or energy. This distortion is primarily due to the blockage of the indigo ray. As we have said before, the misapprehension distortion of the instrument responsible for this blockage is the basic orientation towards a belief in unworthiness. The unworthiness distortion blocks the free flow of intelligent energy. The seventh or violet ray is unimpaired, this being not only an energy receptor but a sum total of the vibratory level of the individual. The other energy centers are also quite clear. The solution to healing in this case is action that puts into practice the peaceful understanding in humility distortion that the entity is one with the Creator, therefore perfected and not separate. In each case of what you would call ill health, one or more of these energy centers is blocked. The intelligence of the mind, body, spirit complex needs then to be alerted either by the self as healer or by the catalyst of another healer, as we have said before. Is there a short question before we close this session?
Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you on that. So, with the pineal gland being calcified, it actually can cause a blockage from you connecting, or any of us connecting back with who we truly are, which is the one in the one. So, and anything that puts shame on you or makes you feel less than or not worthy of, or uses fear, can also cause blockages from you becoming the authentic truth of who you truly are. Now, I think there's 7 billion on the planet, But for 6.5 million to be volunteers, that's still a substantial number of volunteers to try to correct an imbalance that has happened here, to get things back straight and lined out. And this has nothing to do, like I said, with religion or any of that, but your belief structure that you have within you could be creating a blockage within you, making you doubt your worthiness. Well, I'm here to tell you, you are worthy. You are beautiful. You are divine. We are all equal. It's just a beautiful understanding. And yeah. Okay, let's move on. If you've noticed, the word distortion was used quite a bit. And if you go through those sessions and actually listen to them, it is distortion. It is an askewed perspective, or I'm not prospective, perspective of who and what we truly are. And we came in, if we are one of the 6.5 million volunteers, but also we can pick up karma. So that's why a lot of times you'll see people that will just want to spend time alone, grounding out and repurifying and reconnecting. It's always an inside job. It's continual maintenance, especially in this thick of a density world that we're in. People don't quite understand that when they are cruel to others, that they are actually creating karma for themselves. So we get these little sayings: do unto others as you would want them unto you. Well, these come from somewhere. It's not like they just, they're hints, they're guidances, they're touchstones, so to speak, to help us to find our way out of this cycle. Now, from going from a sixth or higher density, where you are keenly aware of who and what you are, all your abilities and gifts and everything is intact, and to volunteer to come into, just think of it as like tar. Now you're walking in this black sludgy tar that's sticking all over you. To keep your house clean, we do need to take that time to get our temple, keep our house clean. And with the event that I had happen this year, of course, I've got some things that I need to keep working on to keep the flow going in balance. And most people, as this part of this interview, it talked about wanderers or volunteers suffering from afflictions, and it is because they went from completely knowing who and what they are, from an all-loving and equal, no hierarchy environment, and came down into an environment that is so dense and people are so cruel to one another, and it actually will manifest on you physically. So now let's get into can a volunteer heal themselves? Well, yes. As I had mentioned, in several of my videos, I was going into a scooter chair. That was in the one I just shared yesterday or a couple days ago. Anyways, I went from, I got hit by a car when I was 15, and I had an encounter that was amazing. I was told I didn't have to come back, but I did come back. I came back because I saw something and I needed to come back. And then I got hit by the drunk driver with the broken neck and back thing, which, you know, just pretty much left me disabled. I have a scooter chair. They came and fitted it for me. It is designed for my body, everything with the remote control thing on it, because I had, like I said, no use of this arm or my right leg. The nerve damage was that severe. Even though I had the neck surgery, the nerve damage had already, set itself in. But I'm healing and I'm walking. Also was over 200 pounds. Now I'm back down into the weight where I was just about before I had my first child. So, yes, we can, when we get everything lined out and get that understanding and understanding, it will manifest within our vessel that we walk in. But if you're having these afflictions and things happen to you, realize that there's a very good possibility that you volunteered to come here to help raise the frequency of this place, because it was so direly low. And as we understand and understand the oneness that we all are, as you see the background behind me, the ripple effect, whatever realm that we resided, whatever density, whatever frequency, it will ripple effect, and it will affect the others. So the volunteering to raise this area up actually helps the areas where we live, that desire that we have to go back home. It's all connected. It's all connected. It's all one. There is one creator, and we are all in that divine plan. We are all equals. There's no hierarchy. God doesn't look down from a throne and say, I like this child, I don't like this one. If you're a parent yourself, you know that you would not sacrifice either of your children, any of your children. That love, that perfect, unconditional love that you have for a child, is just, the evidence is all around us on who we are and how we are to overcome it. Now we have healers, and we have those that help those that are ready to let go of this karmic cycle, let go of all of these doubts, let go of all these things that make you feel less than, and line you up so you can take the torch, and then it should blossom out from a ripple effect in that direction, where now you went to a healer, and now maybe you need a couple sessions. I don't know. Everyone is unique. And then you become the healer. You are already perfect. It's just the distortion in our minds that has us in this cycle, in this karmic cycle. Like I said, we'll get more into what happened, to cause this great delusion that we would all believe this lie about ourselves, that we are unworthy, and, that God picks favorites on his children and on the creation, when we are all in this together as a oneness. Now, we are unique. and we are individual, and we are sovereign. It's a really amazing understanding once it resonates in you, through you, and then when you look out at other people around you, all you see is the divine in them. There's a lot of people that despitefully use people, and it hurts. But when you're having those kind of situations coming after you, it's best just to walk away, because are we really doing a service to them by not allowing them to process and go through their own karmic cycle of purifying themselves? Remember, the one guy had to go to the lowest point on this realm, the Dead Sea, and wash himself 7 times. Well, we have 7 chakras. So he had to go back 7 times, where another only had to go once. And that was Christ. He was baptized in the Jordan, and that's at the lowest point. And he knew, and he stuck with that. He knew that he was an equal. He was trying to teach that to everybody. I think on these things, on who did he talk to? What was this glorious good news? Who was the audience? And who were the ones that got healed from the very words he spoke? It was not the Pharisees and Sadducees. So, and like I said, I'm not trampling on anyone's religion. I was under that bondage of religion for a very long time. And it's not an easy thing to overcome. But I do have to say that my children would be 3rd generational, and it could possibly be even more than that, because I see my mom is very gifted, and she doesn't like to acknowledge it, but when she says things, it manifests. So she also told me this amazing story, and I'm going to leave the names out, but it's my mom, but it's about my sister. And our hearts are so softened, and so much love for every living, breathing creature, that once my sister saw a turkey alive, she would not eat Thanksgiving dinner. She would not have turkey, ever. Couldn't handle it. It broke her heart. It broke her heart. So, with that being said, it kind of falls into my family, and this understanding. You will find, if you talk to your own parents or grandparents, that it is probably a generational thing within your family too. These waves of volunteers that came in to help lift the vibration and get a lot of these people freed from this karmic circle. Get them out. Because that is what we want. This is supposed to be a place where we come and learn, expand, and grow. But so many people are getting caught in the trappings and get recycled back in. But we'll talk about that another time too. I never ever thought that I would think that reincarnation was a possibility or probability, because of the teachings I was brought up under. It's, you live once and you either go to heaven or you either go to the other place. Well, I gotta tell you, the other place is no place. You just keep coming back here until you get it right. And so it was like an army was sent in. And in the meantime, we have to come in, everybody has to come in with the same conditions, whether it's other different lifetimes or whatever. You come in, you lose your memory, got to go through what this place is supposed to be like and overcome it. Overcome this world. A lot of these things are in scripture too. If you can just have the eyes to see it and understand. So with all this said, I know this one was a little long-winded, but I want you to understand and understand that everything starts with you. And if people are not showing you the respect or treating you how you treat others, well, walk away. Take some time and recalibrate. Don't allow people to continuously abuse you or kick you around. It actually takes more strength to walk away from your comfort zone than it does to stick around and put up with the abuse or the hierarchy that they're trying to impose upon you. So with that said, guys, always share what you know and listen so we can grow. I love you all so much. Peace. I'll talk to you soon.